Hello, I'm Rosie Marsland and I run leckhamptononline.co.uk.
Great. Could you tell me something about Leckhampton Online, please?
Yeah, it's a hyperlocal website for an area in Cheltenham called Leckhampton. We created it because we wanted there to be a resource for residents and also a platform for local businesses to promote themselves.
How successful has it been?
It's doing brilliantly. It's been up and running for 2 months. We're getting about 1,000 hits a week. We've got an actual subscribed membership of just about 100 at the moment, but what we're finding is people don't log on to read it. They just go and visit it regularly anyway to see what's new on there. We have news, a buy and sell classified section, and a business directory and forums which people kind of go and chat about.
So, what's the aim of it really? Like, just Leckhampton or Cheltenham-wide?
No, the aim of it is not to be Cheltenham-wide, but to be for anybody who either lives in, around, but uses the services of Leckhampton, because it's not just the people who live in Leckhampton that use the services within it. You know, people come from outside of Leckhampton. It's kind of like a little mini community within Cheltenham, but we're not trying to compete with other websites that are kind of town or county based. This is kind of doing the reverse and drilling it right back down again to the local community spirit feel.
Why do you think it's so important, the local community spirit thing?
I think you kind of know if you live in an area that's naturally got that feel about it. Leckhampton definitely does have that feel, but there's a lot going on within it. So for me personally, I started it because if I'm looking for children's classes or if I want to buy something, I want to do it all locally at the moment because it's easier. So the first thing I do is go online and search for dance classes in Leckhampton, let's say, or children's ballet classes in Leckhampton, and I wasn't getting a whole lot back. So that's where I thought, okay, there's a gap in the market for this kind of resource. And Leckhampton itself has got quite a few schools within it as well. So it's a confined target audience that we've got.
Yeah, and people have been getting involved?
Yeah.
What
people
type
have been
of
getting on.
involvement?
We've had local politicians. So when we first launched it, it was at the time of the general election. So we had all the local politicians competing, and we did some really great mini video interviews in their houses where they were really informal and they were just chatting about their campaigns and obviously what they believed in on a local and national scale. But they were received really well because people kind of said, well, they haven't seen the politicians like that, and they got to see another side of them, and it gave them a real insight into the type of people that they were going to be voting for. So
Very good. How did you manage to do that? Because presumably, if it's only 2 months old, that you had to get the word out quite quickly.
it wasn't even 2 months old at that point. That actually helped us launch the site, and do you know, it was friends who lived next door to the politicians.
It's all word of mouth.
All word of mouth, just done on that local community scale again.
Yeah, and presumably people who are adding to the community, it's all word of mouth through friends, etc.
And also Twitter. Twitter's invaluable for this. I'm quite new to Twitter myself, but when I first started it, I was really nervous, thinking, oh, the whole world is out there waiting to hear what I'm going to say in 40 characters or less, or 140 characters or less, and I overthought it to begin with, made it too complex, and then once you relax into it, I'm on there all the time, and that is what's driving the most traffic to our website. Yeah, absolutely.
So how much time do you put into it on an average day?
In and around, I mean, it's really just sporadic. I would say probably between 3 and 5 hours a day.
God,
probably.
that's a lot. You'd see yourself as a community manager then?
I guess so, yeah. If I'm feeling more confident about myself, yes, I would be a community manager. Obviously for me, I did it to fit in and around bringing up my children and the school hours, and you know, it's flexible and it works that way. But yeah, as a community manager, it's not a 9-to-5 job. You have to just do it as and when you can, and you've got to be able to be mobile with it as well.
And you presumably instigate discussions in the forums and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the most fun parts of it. Really, is kind of encouraging those discussions to happen. And because it was such on a local scale, then the passion and the emotiveness behind it is much more intense.
Where would you like to take Leckhampton Online in terms of a community? Will it achieve things that you want it to achieve, do you think?
I guess really, I just want it to be the first stop that people in Leckhampton think about visiting to find out what's going on in Leckhampton, whether or not they're looking what to do on a Saturday night, or they want to know more political issues like what's happening with the green lands around Leckhampton, or if it's if they want to sell something, I want it to be the first stop that they think about going to, and I want it to empower the community, but also local businesses as well, because it's all about ploughing it all back into the locality.
So it sort of fits in with this big society idea that that the coalition government's come up with?
I guess it does in a way, yeah.
And last question, and probably the one that you don't want to answer the most,
Yeah.
and that is, does it make money, or do you intend to make lots of money out of it?
Absolutely, we intend for it to make money.
That's a good honest answer.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest because it does take up a lot of my time, and the idea of it was to find an income that I can fit in around my family. But also, you know, that's not the prime driver at all. We do want it to be a resource for local people and the businesses, and something that's empowering people and kind of encouraging that community spirit, hoping that it will make money, obviously, but it does take a lot of time, so it's not that we're just blagging our way and taking money for nothing. It's, you know, we are becoming a resource that's worth it, we hope.
Yeah, and hopefully the money through business directories, local advertising, things like that?
Yeah, it'll be purely directories, but there will always be a free option on there for people to advertise their businesses. That's never going to change. It's just whether or not they want to upgrade that to have a button or, you know, a web link or a logo link, then that gives them the options, but there will always be a free option there as well.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.